Should we do this? Because I feel like if we do this, we're going to have a series of events that's going to lead to our death.
Nah.
I don't know if I want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about none of that shit.
I don't know if I want to talk about this, but let's talk about it.
I mean, it's near summer. It's not summer as yet, but it's near summer, and there's been a few movies that came out and a few horror movies as well.
Well, the summer blockbuster has officially started. Like,
yeah,
the May starts that. So,
yeah, and so far the horror movies that I've seen so far, and I'm not going to put Sinners as a horror movie. That is not a horror movie for me. I think it's more like a sci-fi suspense type thing.
It's not sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, if you're dealing with freaking vampires and shit.
That's not sci-fi. That's horror. But let's talk about
science fiction.
Final Destination Bloodlines, bro. Because you're getting off topic.
Anyways, yeah, let's deal with this Final Destination. Of course, it's been over a week now, so I assume everyone has watched it.
Yes, so we would definitely be talking about full spoilers.
All right, so first let's get into the story.
Okay.
Drinks all around.
A very wonderful movie. Everything is traced by Bloodline, where at first this lady, she went out with her boyfriend and went out to this place. That tower kind of reminds me of the tower in Toronto.
Okay.
The highest, whatever it is. It's like whatever she did, like she tried to prevent everyone from dying, whatever. And it kind of traced through her family and wiped them all out. I think it's one of the most effective stories out of everything.
But it's not just that. Like, she prevented probably about 100 people from dying.
Yeah.
And because of that, she then goes into hiding to prevent herself from dying, even though everybody else she prevented from dying one by one, in the order that they were supposed to die, they die. So then she, is founded out by her granddaughter, and she's like, all right, yeah, you don't want to believe me. You think I'm lying? She steps out of her cabin and is like, shoot. And death now starts to go through her family because all her family should not have even been born, that she shouldn't have been born.
Yeah, but please remember that this story is connected to most of the past movies back then. So
I would say through Tony Todd.
Yeah,
and they put him in the story too.
But what happened?
Not just as the mortuary person, but they actually put him through the story of like, yo, my fate is actually tied. That's how I know about that, and I thought that was really interesting.
But I think why the movie is tied to the past movies in the franchise itself, that book that she had, showed a lot of instances where whatever death and she had a lot of like newspaper clippings and all of that that was associated to other past movies, and it's like it tied into everything was placed from within the franchise itself. And I think that's smart. That's wonderfully smart.
I wish they would have actually connected a little bit better to some of those particular characters.
Yeah, I get it.
I think,
but I feel like everything is mostly focused on the family instead of going off track to kind of place whatever instances that happen or whatever accidents that happen and kind of throw off from the main story itself.
Got you. I hear you, and I think if they just would have connected it through the main people that had the premonitions throughout the throughout the series, that would have been to me the ultimate connective tissue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, and one of the things I love about this movie was the fact that it was funny.
Yes, and not overly. It hit the right notes when it was supposed to, and then it would come and draw back to let you be astonished by some of the set pieces or some of the death set pieces, because there were especially in the radiology.
Yes.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Yep. Yeah, that.
Oh my God! No, I think it was MRI. Excuse me.
The MRI.
In the MRI. Oh my.
That one was crazy.
And I'm so glad they didn't put that one on the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm really glad they didn't put that one, because that was, whew.
Yeah, man. I mean, overall, the story in itself, I loved it. I just literally sit back and was like, yo, this makes sense. You know, even though some of the past movies, some of the past movies in the franchise, it was a little bit like it was mostly. I think it was mostly focused on the creativity of the killing and all of that.
Agreed. And this one wasn't.
You know
what I mean? I think that they gave its focus when it needed to be.
Yeah.
But it was story driven first.
Yeah. Exactly.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely the story, I definitely would give it a 9 out of 10. I think it was impressively creative, and it was funny. You know, there were certain parts of it that was a little bit serious, but it came back to its funny form, trying to make you giggle a little bit, and then it went back to its serious form. So it had a balance that, you know, that most horror movie don't really produce. They mostly focus on the jump scares or, you know, how this person will die or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
This is like totally different.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that this was a really cool send off to Tony Todd as the actor.
Yes.
As far as his character also, because like you don't want to predict that, but I thought that actually weaving him into the tapestry of this convoluted theme of death, instead of him just knowing it for knowing its sake, because that's how he appeared to. Like that's how he appeared to us. He just knew it for knowing it, for knowing the sake of it. But now it's like, oh no, you know this because you are intricately bound in this tapestry. And I really thought that was a smart move. But rest in peace to Tony Todd. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this was his last. This was his last movie. But I'm also going to give it. You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit back. No, I'm struggling because I've been struggling between 8 and 9, and I think that this is a really great Final Destination movie. It's just a okay to good horror movie, and I think that's why I'm struggling. So I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go 9. Because I'm gonna rank it first as a Final Destination movie, and I think that this was one of the top ones, if not the top one.
And also, one of the things that a lot of movies don't do is, instead of putting villains as a human being, they made the villain a coin.
Yo, you know what
I'm saying?
Yo, I don't want any pennies in my you know, and that's funny because the song is like, pick a penny, see a penny, pick it up. All the day you'll have good luck. It was, man,
that was crazy.
Yes. So that fuck that coin. Fuck that coin.
Yeah, man. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Death is coming for our family.
I said, oh. It was solid.
Acting across the board.
It was actually solid. Pretty solid.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that there wasn't like a Oscar award winning acting wasn't going on, but
absolutely not.
It did show like the whoever was in the movie acting, it showed what the balance of the movie was mostly focused with.
So again, I think
so
I think one of the things that made this stand out, especially in comparison to the previous two, Final Destination 4 and Final Destination 5, was that everyone, in a sense, or at the very least the main protagonist, took this to be serious.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that. Like, I actually binge watched all the movies before I saw this, right? Mm-hmm. So the first 3, you felt that the protagonist actually took this serious. Mm-hmm. The last 2, it just was like they were just getting a check. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel, you didn't feel anything. And I felt this was going back to actually taking this for what it is seriously. And I appreciated that. And then again, you still had some people that were your comic relief, and again timed well and perfect, and then brought it back when it was supposed to. Yes. So I personally enjoyed the acting. Yeah. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. I didn't see any issues with the acting. As I said, it's not really like a Oscar award winning type thing. You know what I mean? So everything just went down to the nitty gritty, and that's it. So for me, I'll just give it an 8 out of 10, just because it's just a movie that you just simply go on and enjoy. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely.
Boom.
I had a premonition that started it all. I saw what death was about to do.
All right, so this movie was heavy on death. Death was the penny. Order of the fucking day.
Bro.
Also with that penny. Shit. But what is your top 3 death scenes in this movie?
Oh, for sure. I get a 2 for 1 in this one. The MRI.
Oh, okay.
For what? Oh.
The MRI scene was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The MRI scene with the older brother, and then
I wasn't even expecting it.
And
that's the good thing about it. I wasn't even expecting
there were so many. I was really actually very happy that they didn't go for just the elaborate setup of how they're going to die.
Yeah.
They did really good fake outs.
Yes.
Where you were like, you thought you knew where it was going.
And
then it didn't. Yeah. And then because you know that it was so coming, natural, you wasn't gonna be like, okay, well they dodged that. You're like, okay, shit. No, you're kind of on edge, like, okay, how is it going to happen now? How's it gonna happen? Yep. And then all of a sudden it happens in a way that you didn't see coming. And that also is with the brother with the peanut allergy, who we definitely thought he was gonna die by peanut allergy, and in turn it was vending machine.
Yeah, basically.
I really enjoyed these deaths per se.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? There was some that was over the top, and there was some that was very natural. That it wasn't about the setup. It was just about, nah, shit, she gone. Yeah. He gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really, really enjoyed. Like I said, those are my first 2. You know what's funny? I forgot that this was actually in the trailer. Oh, okay. The one with the garbage can. The girl with the garbage can.
Oh, okay.
The sister.
Yeah.
I forgot that was like a hit or blink or miss it.
I never seen.
I think
it's seen it.
We covered it, babe.
I probably have not remembered, but
that's my point. I think that particular death is a blink or you'll miss it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I don't recall seeing it.
Yes, but her death by trash compactor.
Because I for the entire time when the guys were walking, I was thinking that the dude,
of course,
and
of course there was some family trauma as to why he wasn't.
Yeah,
that was unexpected. We was like, wait, what?
That's crazy.
Okay,
that's crazy.
We got some melodrama in here too.
Yeah, but my top 3 death scenes were the first one with the building.
Of course.
Yeah, the building was wonderful. With the kid. When the piano fell on that kid, everyone in my cinema was like, yay! Yeah. Yo, I'm like,
y'all are horrible.
Damn, people. But yeah, that kid had it coming, bro. He had it coming, man.
Horrible.
Yeah, and the hospital scene with the brothers that's in the MRI and the garbage truck scene. Those two those 3 scenes were freaking crazy.
Yeah.
For the action geeking, I would definitely give it a 10 out of 10. Just because the naturality of these killings or the death of thereof is just spot on clean.
Yeah, I enjoyed them.
You never expect that it's gonna affect one person when it end up affecting another person, and that is what I like. I don't like seeing like the setup for an accident's gonna happen and then it happened to that same particular person.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying, you would get understand.
Yeah, because I think that especially Final Destination 4, I think their death setups were more linear and not fake outs and not natural fake outs, where, I'm thinking about, even Final Destination 2, when you had the lotto winner, okay, his was a lot of different fake outs. You were like, you think it's gonna come from this way, you think it's gonna come from that way, you think it's gonna come from that way. No, so, I appreciate that they kind of went back to grain with that.
Yeah.
I really did like that.
Yeah, definitely. What's your rating for that?
I appreciate it. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10.
I can't wait till we get to like the on the odd things. Because we keep seeing things like almost eye to eye.
Yeah, I see. That's all good.
Lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But Death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
Visual effects, it was okay. I think my main focus throughout the movie was just the death scenes. It's I wouldn't say mid, but it was okay. I
Little
think.
did I know.
Yeah,
I just asked for is coming.
Yeah, I think most of the visual effects was on the first scene, as the movie started. I think most of it was on that scene, but overall the death scenes was good, was immaculate, whatever.
Are you talking about even CGI or just visual effects as far as like the effects of
overall
the whole
overall?
Not mid.
No, I'm saying it's not mid. It's not mid.
But you said that it's mid.
No, I didn't say it's mid. I said it was not mid.
Okay.
But it's not great.
It's pretty good.
It was good. I mean,
it's pretty good.
It did what it needed to do. You know what I mean? It did what it needed to do. So I wouldn't say that it's a bad thing or it's really good. So my thing for it, my rating for it would definitely be an 8 out of 10.
The way you talking about it, I'm thinking a 6 is coming out your mouth.
No. Why would I give it a 6?
Okay. We good. Because the way you was talking about it, I'm thinking like.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm speaking of my perspective as a designer, a graphic designer, and I take particular eye to visual effects, whatever the case is. So I'm speaking from my perspective. You can speak on yours, but to me, I think it was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just set in a situation or a visual that it just respected that part of the scene. You know what I'm saying? So it's fine. So I definitely give it an 8.
Okay.
All right, you?
We're aligned. I just want to make sure we're aligned. Let's go.
Yeah. So Final Destination. Man, this movie was wonderful. It was really good. Zach Lipovsky and Adam Steen, they did their thing. Of course, there is a lot of names in it that I don't see, only away from Tony Todd. These people seem new to me. I'm not sure if they've been in other movies or whatever. But everyone did their thing. The story was immaculate. The death scenes was awesome. Overall, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. And basically for a story where it has comedy in it. It makes you cringe but laugh at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that was good. It was good. I definitely give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I'm gonna get an 8.5. I think that it was really very solid Final Destination movie. Like I said, I'm battling between 1, 2, and this is my top 3. Because obviously, to me, those are the GOATs. You can't get away from that logging scene.
Oh, no.
That logging scene alone is the price of admission, and also is in the eternal psyche of anyone who's a driver. Yeah. Even if you don't know why, you know of it. Yeah. As just a regular horror movie, I think it goes down a little bit. It's because it was a good horror movie. Is it somebody that's like, was it a talk to me? No. You see what I'm saying? To me, that kind of movie,
you know exactly what it was.
Oh my God. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So do I think this was an oh my God horror movie? Absolutely not. But do I think it was a good and solid movie? Absolutely. So
gotcha. Definitely. Okay, guys. Well, let us know what you think about Final Destination if you have watched it. Yes. Of course, you can check it. Do all the comments in the comment section and everything. Let us know what you think. What's your thoughts and everything. All right.
And if this is your first time to the channel, don't let it be your last. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notifications when you know we're coming out with the next video. Definitely. Because we've been doing it on a weekly basis. Yes. So check out our library. See us at Geek by Heart on TikTok and IG.
All right.
And Twitch.
All right, definitely. So, of course, you can check us on the next flip side of things. We'll be back with a new and based review. Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods.